Imagine you are standing in your kitchen tomorrow morning. The sun is just starting to peek through the window, and you are reaching for the same breakfast you have had for the last 5 years. For most of us, this is a mindless ritual, a way to simply stop the hunger and get out the door as quickly as possible. We think about breakfast in terms of calories or maybe weight loss, but we rarely think about it as a targeted medical intervention. We treat health as something that happens at the clinic or in the pharmacy, assuming that the most important factors for our survival are managed by a prescription or a lab report. But what if the most powerful tool for protecting your brain is sitting right there on your counter, waiting for you to pick up a fork? There is a profound connection between the very first nutrients you put into your body and the long-term integrity of your vascular system. A growing body of evidence suggests that one specific combination of high-protein, fiber-rich foods acts as a biological shield against one of the most devastating health events a human can experience: a stroke. Most people are completely unaware that their morning routine is either reinforcing their defenses or slowly eroding them, and the difference often comes down to a few simple choices made before 8 o'clock in the morning. We are often told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but we aren't always told the real biological reason why. It isn't just about energy levels or avoiding a mid-morning crash. When you break your overnight fast, you are essentially setting the chemical tone for your entire cardiovascular system for the next 24 hours. This isn't just theory. It's backed by significant clinical data showing that a high-quality breakfast is associated with a much lower body fat percentage, improved lipid profiles, and a significantly cleaner cardiovascular system. The secret doesn't lie in a magic pill or an expensive supplement, but in a specific synergy of fiber, protein, and healthy fats that stabilize your blood sugar and support the delicate lining of your blood vessels. If you are looking to lower your stroke risk, you have to stop thinking about breakfast as a chore and start viewing it as a foundation for your brain's longevity. Experts in nutrition are now pointing to a specific high-protein, plant-forward meal that could be the most impactful addition to your daily routine. And it involves a combination of ingredients that many of us currently ignore in favor of quick sugars and processed grains. Most people associate breakfast protein with heavy meats like sausage or bacon, but the strategy for brain protection shifts toward nutrient-dense beans, whole grains like barley, and the healthy fats found in avocado. This specific combination, often served with a poached egg, creates a massive influx of fiber and protein, specifically around 16 grams of protein and 10 grams of fiber in a single serving. But the real magic isn't just in the numbers. It's in how these specific nutrients interact with your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels. When you eat beans and barley at the start of your day, you are flooding your system with magnesium, folate, and beta-glucan. These are the silent workers of your vascular health. Magnesium, for example, is a mineral that millions of people are deficient in without even knowing it. It is essential for maintaining a healthy rhythm in your heart and keeping your blood pressure within a safe range. Yet, because we don't eat enough plants like black beans or leafy greens, we are often operating on a dangerous deficit. Beyond magnesium, the role of folate in stroke prevention is becoming a major focus for researchers. Folate is a nutrient found in abundance in plants like avocados, and several studies have now linked higher folate intake with a significantly reduced risk of stroke. By adding a simple serving of avocado to your morning meal, you aren't just adding flavor, you are introducing monounsaturated fats and potassium, which are critical for heart health. In fact, swapping out traditional breakfast fats like butter for avocado has been linked to a much lower risk of cardiovascular disease events over time. This is a pattern interrupt for most people who have spent years believing that fat is a universal enemy. The reality is that the type of fat you consume in the morning dictates how your arteries react for the rest of the day. Choosing monounsaturated fats provides a cleaner fuel source and helps manage the inflammation that can lead to vascular damage. The third pillar of this brain-protecting breakfast is fiber, and specifically soluble fiber. Most of us know that fiber is good for digestion, but we rarely consider its role as a physical cleaner for our arteries. When you consume the soluble fiber found in beans and barley, it acts almost like a magnet for LDL cholesterol, the bad cholesterol that can build up and lead to a stroke. One single high-protein bean breakfast can provide close to 40% of your daily fiber needs. This fiber doesn't just lower cholesterol, it also slows down the absorption of sugar, which prevents the massive spikes in blood glucose that can irritate and damage the lining of your blood vessels over time. This is the DASH diet principle in action, focusing on potassium and magnesium to support blood pressure, which remains the single most important factor in preventing a stroke. When you keep your blood pressure stable through a high-fiber, high-protein intake, you are essentially taking the pressure off the plumbing of your brain. However, diet is only one part of the wider puzzle, and this is where the conversation turns to the things we can control. While genetics and age play a role in our risk, our daily habits are the modifiable factors that decide which path our health takes. This means knowing your numbers and staying on top of your regular checkups to identify cardiovascular risks before they become crises. It is also about realizing that the state of your brain is defined by how you manage stress and how well you sleep. Chronic stress and sleep deprivation act as silent accelerators for inflammation and high blood pressure. Experts suggest that beyond just changing your breakfast, you have to prioritize a lifestyle that allows your body to recover. This involves regular, moderate exercise, aiming for 30 minutes 5 times a week. Whether it is walking, swimming, or cycling, this movement works in tandem with your high-protein breakfast to manage blood sugar and keep your cholesterol levels where they need to be. The impact of these combined efforts is hard to overstate. When you start your day with fiber, protein, and healthy fats, you are providing your body with a steady stream of energy that prevents the inflammation-causing crashes typical of sugar-heavy breakfasts. You are essentially giving your heart and your brain a permission slip to thrive. It is easy to get overwhelmed by all the health advice out available today, but the most effective interventions are often the simplest ones. It starts with what you add to your plate tomorrow morning. By including nutrient-dense foods like beans, avocado, and eggs, you are participating in a daily act of preventative medicine that is far more powerful than any supplement you can buy. You are quite literally feeding your brain the building blocks it needs to remain resilient against the threats we often ignore until it is too late. In the end, the secret to a long, healthy life isn't found in a radical transformation or a restrictive diet, but in the small, consistent choices we make when we first wake up. Your breakfast is not just a meal. It is a signal to your body that you are prioritizing its long-term survival. When you clear the path for better blood flow and lower inflammation through the right nutrients, you are rewriting the story of your future health. It turns out that the most important thing you can do for your heart and your brain happens in your kitchen long before the rest of the world has even started its day. The power is truly in your hands, and it begins with the very next meal you choose to eat. Taking control of your morning is the first step in a much larger journey toward total vascular resilience. There's a much bigger picture developing here, and some of the most startling discoveries about heart-to-brain communication are just now coming to light. What we are learning about these biological signals is only the beginning, and some of the most important details regarding your long-term safety are still unfolding. We'll be sharing the next critical piece of this puzzle very soon, so make sure you stay connected so you don't miss what's coming next. After all, the better you understand your body's hidden needs, the more you can do to protect your future.